Number 10. A mourning mother. Andrea Rogers entered the courtroom carrying $400 worth of tickets. She becomes emotional in the middle of the proceedings. Yes, the one that affects a loved one. I went to Social Security since my check had been cut off due to my son's untimely death last year, she said, sobbing. According to Rogers, she got the tickets while managing her son's affairs after his death and being evicted. Caprio lowers her penalty to $50 after learning about her explanation. When Andrea acknowledges that she would leave her with just $5, he immediately changes his mind and just tosses out all of her tickets. I'm not going to leave you with $5. I would rather disregard the charges, stated the judge.
Express sympathy to you and understand the trauma that you have experienced.
I'm still going back and forth to court for that. There's still emotions and thank you, Your Honor.
I'm not going to leave you with $5. I'm not going to leave you. I'm going to dismiss everything.
Thank you.
All right. With our best wishes and hope that things turn around good for you. Okay.
Thank you, Your
Good luck to you.
Number 9. A seasoned speech. As soon as the parking ticket charges are read by Judge Caprio, the defendant enters a guilty plea and requests an explanation. The defendant admits that he's a veteran who was receiving medical attention while parked on VA hospital sidewalk. He continues by emphasizing the persistent parking issue there and requests that the judge consider a reduced penalty for him and other veterans who receive medical attention close to the hospital. Whether it's in the combat, whether it's on active duty in a foreign country, whether it makes no difference, they have sacrificed a period with their wife to serve this country, Caprio says in his moving address in response. He ends by dismissing the case without any associated fees.
Treatment was something that had to be done quickly, and they were unable to find parking spaces as well. And for some reason, I'm not sure why, but there's no other place for them to park except on Regent Avenue. And the beginning of that war and about the atrocities that our veterans had to endure during that period of time. So, and now you need some medical treatment, you go for medical treatment that the government is providing and they give you a $100 parking ticket. So, in disposing of this case, what I'm going to say to you, sir, is thank you for your service and the matter is dismissed.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. And I want to thank you for years of service to the community.
Number 8. The blinding lights. To win, you don't always need a sophisticated defense. In one instance, a guy is accused of running a red light. He acknowledges his mistake and explains that the chaotic lights at the intersection where he made the turn misled him. Judge Caprio examines the man's argument more carefully rather than dismissing it. He acknowledges that there were too many lights, but he also criticizes the intersection's traffic controllers. Caprio dismisses the case after ensuring that the defendant is aware of the issue. This decision demonstrates that Caprio, despite his preference for different wording, actually pays attention to arguments.
That location is like mad lights. I was confused. But I was guilty.
You're guilty.
Yeah.
And you're...
But it was at that section right there is Atwell's, and that got mad like lights, and I was confused.
I don't think the city can prevail on the burden of proof, which is clear and convincing evidence. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
See, I knew. He had a great argument. He came in well prepared today. I agree. It is confusing. All right, the matter is dismissed.
Number 7. You must have breakfast. Denise, a small child, is asked to testify in favor of or against her mother. After hearing her mother's defense, Caprio requests that Denise decide whether to fine her or let her off the hook. The judge queries the youngster about breakfast after she chooses to charge her mother $50 in the most amusing way possible. The judge informs her that if her mother takes her out to dinner, the matter will be dropped when she shakes her head. So let's say I strike a deal with your mother. Okay, when you depart after being let go, she buys you breakfast. I'll throw it out, the judge said. The importance of the day's most significant meal cannot be understated. Even though this wasn't the first case in which a convicted received a scrumptious sentence in Caprio's courthouse, let's check out the next. Number 6. Immediately dismissed. Jose Barrientos, a man wearing a helmet, shows up in court to contest his parking ticket. He says that his son picked him up from the hospital following a recent brain operation, but they were given a parking citation when a traffic officer noticed that his son had stopped next to a fire hydrant. Judge Caprio doesn't have to think twice about throwing out this case after hearing the justification. This verdict is made even more touching by the judge's brief inquiry into Jose's well-being. In a brief exchange, Caprio once more demonstrates his real concern for the visitors to his court. 5. Absurd ticket timing. If you've ever received a parking penalty for arriving a little early, you'll find this case to be cathartic. His home didn't allow parking until 10, so Sarah pulled up. She parked at 9:58, and at 9:59 and 58 seconds, a ticket was issued for her vehicle. It is immediately apparent that Caprio thinks the infraction is absurd. He sarcastically called Sarah out for her terrible choices before dismissing the case and mock-threatened jail time for the insignificant offense. By the time Sarah leaves, Caprio has the entire courtroom in fits of laughter, including her. Number 4. Let me make a stronger logic. Another driver was accused of narrowly avoiding a red light. A box truck, she claimed, was blocking her view of the signal changing. Judge Caprio promptly disregarded her claim after seeing the video evidence. He does, however, present her with a stronger justification grounded in traffic law. The defendant, however, continues to utilize her initial justification for winning the case, even if it appears that the offer is lost on her. Caprio accuses her of not listening, but disproves the claim. This motorist was fortunate that the judge had a strong defense, as this case might have cost the defendant $85. Number 3. Take a break. Although brief, this case was fascinating. Deborah believed she had run 2 red lights when she appeared in court. She created an absurd argument when she realized that she'd received a 3rd citation for the identical offense before the other 2. Deborah asserted that she would not have passed through the 2 additional lights if she had known about the early ticket. Deborah said, "These 2, 1/2 and 2, because I would have known, as I had to halt if I received the ticket in April." The look on Judge Caprio's face, bewildered, is just priceless. He deconstructs her claim after taking in her logical fallacy and offers to reveal the video proof. He has one final chuckle before forcing Deborah to pay the fines when she declines. Number 2. The best course of action is candor. In this instance, a father was accused of exceeding the speed limit by an alarming 10 miles per hour, which is the legal limit. Judge Caprio calls the man's family to the front of the courtroom just to ask a few questions. The inmate responded, "Well, I didn't feel like we were, going exceedingly too much over the speed limit. Just enough. Just a tiny bit." The judge replied in a quirky tone. The defendant's son, Menelik, is then questioned about his father's guilt or innocence. Menelik is unafraid to take the proper action and render an accurate judgment. "Guilty or not guilty? How would you put it?" The defendant's kid was questioned by the judge, and the kid responded, "Guilty!" As the youngster accuses his father, the room just explodes in laughter. Judge Caprio, to the defendant's advantage, chooses to drop the speeding allegation. Additionally, he commends Menelik for his candor before stating, "Just be careful about, since I'm also a really sincere young man." All the best to you.
Or not guilty? What do you say?
Guilty.
Guilty. An honest boy. Shake hands. Good work. Okay, you can go back. Official, you are guilty.
No, he didn't understand. He doesn't know what he's saying.
Well, you have a wonderful family. I'm going to give you credit for your good driving record back in Africa. Okay? Just be careful down there. And you have a very honest young man as well.
Finally, number 1, the provision of graduation. A traffic camera captures a youthful driver running a red light. Judge Caprio learns more about the accused despite immediately dissecting the defense that the signal was yellow. When the judge learns that the defendant is a high school student who hopes to attend college, on the one condition that the student obtains a college degree, he decides to waive the infraction. It's really touching to see how Caprio supports the learner. The student's allegation that he knows the judge's grandson throws things off course, but the case is still an excellent illustration of Caprio's good character. Still, a remarkable simple act of generosity gained him worldwide exposure and demonstrated how a small act of kindness can have a profound impact on someone's life. Did you enjoy our selections? Let us know in the comment section below. And yeah, that's about it for today, guys. Please share your thoughts with us. Keep up to date with the latest courtroom topics by subscribing to the channel and clicking on that bell icon for more future updates. Thanks for watching.